You're listening to the Kim D. Snyder Podcast, episode number 018. In this episode, you will discover why I fire myself every year.
Welcome to the Kim D. Snyder Podcast.
Welcome to the Kim D. Snyder Podcast. I'm your host, Kim. This is the podcast for executives and leaders who want to discover strategies to leverage their expertise, mindset, and innovation for more success and joy. To get the show notes for this episode, please go to kimdsnyder.com/018. Thank you for spending time with me today, and let's get this party started. And the party is about how to stay relevant and current in your career, and here's the steps I use. I do this every December because this is the time of year that there is a lull in the consulting world. And so the last couple of weeks of the year and the first week or two in January, it's very slow. And I take that opportunity to look at three areas. The first area is I look at my skills. I do a self-assessment. I see areas that I might want to improve and or areas that where I want to be for the next 1 or 2 years if I need to beef up those skills so that I'm there. Second place is listen to your trusted sources or resources, such as a mentor or a coach. Sometimes that can be your manager in an organization, and it depends. It's always hit and miss, but I always look for coaches or mentors or my trusted resource. Then what I do is I also update my resume with my skills that I've improved and updated for the year. I put in there some wins or some updates to portfolio, and the portfolio for you might be clients or projects or sales, whatever that means for you. Make sure you update your resume. And then I do start looking at opportunities. I want to make sure I am in the right role, in the right organization, and in the right industry. So I do reach out to my network. I reach out to my peers. I reach out to the recruiters. I get a pulse. I see what's going on. Are my skills current? Do I need to beef up in other areas, in those core areas? And I just want to get a pulse for the industry. So I do that. I also look at, would I hire me for the current role? Why or why not? Would I see myself in a different role? And so when you're reaching out to that network and those peers, I also kind of assess if I'm in the current role. And, 1 year I even looked at, consulting or non-consulting roles. I was traveling. I think at that point I was about 10 years in, and the travel wasn't too bad, but I said, okay, let me take the opportunity to really look at all options out there. And so I did. So I looked at non-consulting roles and consulting roles. And it's sort of funny how you work, because I naturally started going to the consulting roles because I like the variety. And for me, showing up every day and doing the same thing it didn't appeal to me. And so I even took that opportunity and continued with consulting. So after assessing my skills, the next thing I do is I look at my current role or the current organization. So would I want to stay in the current role, but maybe switch departments, organizations, business units, depending on the size of the organization? I did do this 1 year, and it took me quite a while. I moved from the very technical side to the finance and accounting side, and that was a big move. It took me quite a while to do that, and I liked my role, but I was tired of traveling. And the other thing is that I wasn't getting the relationships with the clients that I wanted. So in the technical role, I was 1 to 3 clients a week, and the finance folks, they were at 1 client for 3 to 6 months. And so that was one of the reasons I switched. Another way that you can look at, if this is a way to change your role or the organization, is do you want to stay in the organization or department and maybe switch roles? So, maybe you want to do it as a promotion, or maybe you want something as more responsibility. Now, I also look at the organization, and if I was a brand new employee looking in from the outside, would I want to come to this organization and stay there? And I can definitely say that I probably didn't do this decision very well. Along the way, there's probably times that I was ready to move on from an organization. I probably should have done it sooner, but it's okay. It all worked out in the end. But make sure you're doing that. Make sure that you're looking to see, if you were coming in and you were applying to places, would you apply to that organization? And then that's the second one. The third one is industry. So, look at the industry and the market. And part of this will come in when you check with your peers and the recruiters and get that pulse, but also what's happening in your industry. And so Is this an opportunity for you to totally do a lateral or change complete industry and just do the same role or same type of group? And making sure that industry is relevant and it's not stale. We want to make sure it's growing and you have plenty of opportunity. The final thing I'll say about doing the fire yourself is reach out to your network. I mean, hopefully you're not doing it just once a year, but it's one of those things that it's much easier to do on a regular basis and even, daily, weekly, monthly, figuring out that cadence works for you rather than when you need it, right? So nurture it so that when people reach out to you, you can help them. And then when you reach out to them, you can leverage that ask. The action items for this episode are: 1, inventory your current skills and compare them to where you want to be in the next 1 to 2, and maybe even 3 years, depending where you're at. Second thing I would definitely say is make sure you update your resume, look at opportunities, and maybe apply. Have those discussions. I'm telling you, when you are employed and you're looking for another opportunities, it really makes you appreciate sometimes what you have or appreciate what's out there. And then the third one I would recommend is go ahead and look at opportunities within your organization and see if there is something within your organization and change it up. So making sure that you keep those current skills fresh. To get the show notes for this episode, please go to kimdsnyder.com/018. Thank you for listening to this episode, Why I Fire Myself Every Year. If you enjoyed this episode or have a friend or a colleague that would enjoy it, please like, share, and leave a review on iTunes. Go to kimdsnyder.com/iTunes to leave them today. See you in the next episode.